Hi, my name is Vero Popacereda. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am a philosophy and economics double major with a minor in marketing. I am taking this class because I am very excited to finally be in a class where I won't have to feel like I have to keep my mouth shut about certain comments made by professors that are a little uncomfortable, and instead I'm in a class where I can actually learn about feminism instead of keeping my mouth shut about feminism and how certain comments can be a little bit offensive. So yeah, I'm really excited for the class. I guess I'll talk a little bit about my experience with feminism and what has made me more passionate about being a feminist. I worked as an English tutor online for a year and a half, and so I would have a lot of students from all over the world, usually male students. I would say about 95% of my students were men, more than 95%, honestly. So my average student was a man in like his 40s or 50s, right? Just looking for conversational English practice, right? And I would have a lot of very strange comments. I had students that I loved, students that I consider friends from all over the world. I learned a lot about different parts of the world. I know a lot about Russia now. I didn't think I would ever know much about Russia, but now I know a lot. I had a lot of Russian students. And unfortunately, I also did have students that would make very uncomfortable comments. Aside from the obvious ones about, appearance and why they specifically chose me as a young woman that is teaching online, I'd have a lot of strange comments like all women are gold diggers, or conversations with men about how they didn't feel comfortable going on public transport because they were afraid of getting accused of raping somebody. So those conversations have taught me how to handle those conversations. I did manage to get through to some people. There were a few people that I found that the easiest way to get through those people would be to set women aside and discuss the situation as if it were about a man. So when I told them about a friend of mine who is male that was raped, all of a sudden they understand, and they understand why getting raped, the fear of being raped, is different from the fear of getting accused of being raped, right? So I feel like I have learned how to teach empathy, which is a weird thing to say. But I've learned a lot from those discussions. It's from teaching English, right? It was just conversational English, so we talk about anything, and a lot of people wanted to talk about feminism and Black Lives Matter and gun rights in the US because those are very strong. Those are the topics that they assume that someone my age, a woman my age living in the United States would want to talk about. And these people love talking about politics, so we talk politics. And sometimes I would have students that I could not get through to. For example, the one about all women are gold diggers. Sometimes you just got to drop a few students because your mental health can't handle it, and you're never going to get through to that person. And I don't want to sit through a class where a student is telling me that I'm a gold digger while they are paying me very little money to have conversations with them in English. Not something I enjoy doing. That being said, I miss a lot of my students. I don't work in that anymore. However, sometimes I do wish I still spoke to a lot of those students. I do consider a lot of them my friends. So yeah, I learned a lot. I feel like a big part of my passion for feminism came from those conversations that I would have with individuals about feminism that were very open to learning about it. A lot of people were very open to learning about it and open to learning about my experience. But yeah, now I work as a marketing intern for a foundation called The Cure Starts Now that raises money for cancer research, and this is where I get into my show and tell object. But yeah, I work as a gaming outreach intern, so I watch streamers online and I talk to them. I build a connection with them. I build a relationship with them, and hope to convince them to do a charity stream for us and help us raise money for DIPG, a brain cancer that mostly affects children and has a survival rate of about 2%. So yeah, that's what I do now. I love what I do. I feel like I'm working for a good cause. And here's my little object. So this object is not necessarily from my home. For the past year and a half, I haven't really felt like I had a stable home. I've been jumping around from house to house, different family members, different friends that, and families of friends that will invite me into their home with open arms that I'm very grateful for. But as a result of not having a stable home, this was a gift that a friend gave to me very recently. I haven't had access to a PC that can run the type of video games that I enjoy playing, that I always have enjoyed playing. Games like Valorant, Genshin Impact, that I really enjoy, that take me away from everyday life. They're a happy distraction at the end of the day, right? After all the work is done. And this allows me to play some of those games, not all, from wherever I am, right? So I unhook this, put my phone in, and I can enjoy my happy distraction. And since my job does require me to be in the know and updated with new game updates, or just staying in touch with games that are popular at the time, this allows me to not only just watch them, but actively be part of the gaming community and experience the game for myself, which I like to do anyway, and I'm lucky enough to be able to call this my job. So yeah. As for feminists that have inspired me, as I said, I am a double major, one in philosophy. Philosophy is my true passion, and last semester, I wrote an essay on Dale Spender, and I'm so sorry, let me find the book, about man-made language, and how language is shaped, and how our society shapes language to benefit men and give men the power over language and therefore over society. So I would like to say that Dale Spender is somebody who I look up to. However, she is not. I've read more than just what I was required to read for that class. I read a little bit beyond because I was very inspired by some of the principal theories that she had inspired, which I do think are very important. But there are other things that I just don't totally agree with about her. But she was the first feminist that I studied, and the essay that I wrote in that book that I wrote about stays very close to my heart. However, I think that the main feminist that inspires me and really makes me passionate about feminism is the friend that actually gave this to me. Her name is Lou. She's one of my closest friends, and she is much more knowledgeable about feminist history than I am, and she educates me and my friend group and I a lot on feminism, and she and I have a lot of conversations where I learn a lot about feminism that is not through just other women's experiences, which is how I've learned about feminism in the past. And yeah, I am very grateful for her. She inspires the feminist in me to stay passionate about being a feminist. And yeah, I am very grateful for her and empowering me as a woman. And she does amazing things for empowering other women. And yeah, that's me. That's my feminism background, and why I am excited for the class. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave this out there. If anybody else from the classes watch this video, you want to talk, you want to make a friend, I am here. Send me a message. I am very down to meet new people. I would love to. But yeah, I'm excited for the class, and I'm excited to learn about feminism in a way that I've never learned about it before.